What time is it? Time for Joefest.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
All right.
How you look at them. Look at these guys. They got helmets on.
Well, hang on. Let's make him big. Let's see what they had on. What did you have on there?
It was Captain Rex and a biker squad, I think.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome Shabby Geekers. Welcome Hollow Chronicles, GForce, Chasing 80s, super awesome. DTM. Look at this. It's like legendary. Absolutely legendary. We don't know where Rob is, so as soon as Rob sees it, he'll probably come in and say hello. But anyway, thanks for all.
He said he's on his way.
Cool. He said he's on his way. Perfect. Right, so we're going to get into it, but let's just see who's here. So we got our Des here. Hey, Des.
What's up, Des?
Kieran's here. Hello, Kieran.
Good.
JC. Good old Gerard.
Miriam.
Good old Martin.
Yeah.
Mr. Moore.
Gary Moore.
Happy Cheesing Day. It is weird for me, this July the 4th thing, because I don't know. It's like when my kids celebrate it, right? So my kids will go out and do stuff and celebrate. And I'm like, did you know what it is? It's always a conflict for me. But how can you turn around to your kids and say, don't celebrate? You know, all the mates are doing it. So, anyway.
Hey, if I lived in the UK, I'd celebrate Boxing Day or whatever.
Boxing Day.
Yeah, I don't know what it is myself. No,
we just had the other
48 bank holidays.
48 bank holidays.
Wasn't Boxing Day the day you opened your presents, though? It was like church and family Christmas Day, and Boxing Day was
something like that, yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
I thought you just threw your boxes out that day.
Yeah, that was
No, I used to think it was Boxers Day, and it's like, why are you celebrating underwear?
You mean it's not?
That's so cold.
Why through this easy? Look at this, Miriam's. Yeah, everybody's turned up. Absolutely brilliant. Everybody's turned up. But the reason we've all got together is obviously we all just come back from Joefest. So, what did we think of this year's Joefest? Did we like it?
It was great.
We had a blast.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was amazing just all getting together.
Yeah.
This is where we all stayed, which is right there.
Beautiful downtown Augusta.
And I tell you what, this, I mean, it's a massive hotel, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they've built it in different stages, so like it's really easy to get lost in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of work my way around though. This time, it's always where Scuba's. You always have your room situated perfect. You did last year. You did this year. Because where you have your room, it's like you just walk down that corridor and it's all right there. But
yeah, we were like 2 minutes from there. It was definitely get the Sweet Tower again.
Yeah.
We were right above you guys. It was awesome.
Yep. You can dump off stuff. You can. It's quick to run to the bar or the pool.
And Pete, that's a must with you because how many trips did you make up from the floor to the room to drop things off?
Not as many this year.
Who's counting, Jeff?
I remember Helen. I was walking around with Helen, and Helen's like, "It's the biggest bloody hotel I've ever seen in my life, Shabby."
Hotel.
The size of a tower. Did you think that detail when you saw it?
It was huge. Yeah, our hotels over here, no matter which one you stay in, there's just bog standard, narrow corridors, all your rooms are side by side. Then you've got to walk a good country mile to get to a bar or a restaurant. Yeah, it was unbelievable. The whole floor were as wide as this row of flats. I mean,
I like you were right across the hallway from us.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah. You don't remember when they left your room and you went, "Do you want me to walk you home, show you where you're going?" It was about 2 Emily, what did you think of Joefest? Because this is Leslie and Anna have been before, but what did you think?
Girl gang approved. I loved it.
Nice.
Would you go again?
Absolutely. If you guys are going, Absolutely.
I think we always say the same thing. We always get to the end because we're tired and go, oh, we won't be going to it next year. Then about 2 days after, we're like, right, so when we go to Joefest.
Well, I said the same thing. I was like, I think I told all you guys I could only afford to do something like this maybe every other year.
Yeah.
But when even before I got back, like it was the last day, I just said, I got to figure out a way. I'll save and scratch whatever I can because I think I'm going to do it every
selling blood. Start selling blood.
It's like if you guys are even if you don't get together, like say you pick a different thing, like maybe next, even if it's not Joefest, if you guys are all like, oh, we're going to Tennessee's ICCC thing or whatever, that other convention that everyone goes to, like I would just make a point to go to that because it was the group of people and meeting all you guys that made me want to do it more often, because it's good to have a group of people.
I think that's what it's all about, though. I mean, look, last year we all went. I mean, GForce, it was our first time. Me and GForce last year, and obviously we met up with Robin. But I've met Scuba before and Andy and so on. But you're exactly right. This year, knowing DTM's coming, super awesome. The lovely Andrew. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, this is
all the way from Texas.
Yeah, Rob driving 13 hours.
Yeah. So you're all right, and I think it makes it much better because really, let's be honest, it's a toy convention, isn't it? You can go anywhere for a toy convention or a toy store. Not with everybody and all that. But there was a bit of controversy at Joefest, and I just want to get this out of the way first before obviously we carry on. And the controversy, and it was a bit, because knowing there was kids there and so forth, was this.
My poor kid.
So I get to Joefest and everyone's laughing and GForce. I said to GForce, what's going on? So do you want to explain, John, what this is all about?
Well, I guess it must have happened when I was taking boxes of stuff out of the truck. And I don't know how long I was walking around Joefest with split pants, but I went back up to the room to have a shower and get cleaned up before we met at the bar and did dinner and everything. And when I went to get back in my pants, I pick them up and it's like I can see right through them. And I'm like, so I get down there I'm wearing my pajamas down to dinner at the bar, and I go, how long have I been walking around with my pants split open?
He was mad at us for not telling him his pants were split.
You would have thought you felt the breeze or something.
Hey, Rob. Nice to see you, Rob.
Hey, guys.
So, Rob, we're just talking about John's ripped pants. And, I was funny because everyone was talking about it, and I said to GForce, "That's John ripped his pants," and GForce goes, "Has John ripped his pants?" and showed me that picture. I thought,
John was going around like the Spanish Inquisition. Did you see it? And I was like, I wasn't staring at your junk. I didn't see it.
John, if I was around, I would have told you. I was too busy in the pool, though.
Absolutely brilliant. It was
God forbid if you went and bought new pants.
No, I just wore pajama bottoms the rest of the weekend. I figured no one would care. Who cares?
He had money set aside. Money set aside for toys, but no money set aside for wardrobe.
So you arrived, Scuba and Leslie. You arrived on the Thursday, right? And so
which was different than last year, and we really enjoyed that because it kind of let us just slide into Joefest.
Yeah,
there's a fair amount. John showed up, and a bunch of the Canadians.
Right.
Yeah. When I got there, you guys were in the pool, right? Wasn't that how it worked? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I arrived, and then I went over to the Farmhouse Burgers to get a cheeseburger, and while I was eating, I think you guys showed up, and you were like, "We'll be at the pool," and I was like, "All right."
Yeah, because this is the pool area right here, and there's a float right there, and obviously a few pieces in there, and the reason that's there is because of this.
Yeah.
It goes.
I love that those two ladies were like, Lena was the daughter, and her mom was like all about it. Like, that is the coolest thing I've seen. Can I take a picture of that? Like, sure.
Absolutely brilliant. So what gave you the idea to do that?
So in one of the other Joefest chats with a bunch of like Ken Poe and Adam, go figure, they were like, you know what, it'd be so cool if we could float the flag. And so then they, you know, it kind of went, oh yeah, it kind of exploded, and I was like, I'll do it. And then the next week I'm like, I bought a flag. And they were like, it's happening.
It's happening.
All from a dare.
Yeah, all from pretty much a dare.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then, did you say that Wilmel Toys was putting gliders on or something?
Yeah, he brought Joe gliders and put Delta 17 figures in
That
it.
was on Friday.
On Friday.
So we did this 2 days.
Yeah.
Double afternoons.
When we posted it on Twitter or Instagram and stuff, people were commenting, "You guys are freaking crazy, lunatics! What's wrong with you?"
Even the Irish lads caught wind of it, Scuba. They were talking about it on Culturecast, and I was like, "That was Scuba Pete, you dorks!" They're like, some guy.
I was modding on 3POA, and it was in the chat. Some guy actually floated a flag in the pool. LOL. That really happened.
Float the flag, Scuba's new catchphrase. Float the flag. Oh, brilliant!
What was really cool is one of the folks that was around there on Friday. He ended up buying a flag at the show, and then stopped by the bar when we were all hanging out Friday night, and he was like, "I got a flag," and I'm like, "That is brilliant!" So he was so excited.
There wasn't as many.
Bud's saying hi.
Used to put his backside out on my face.
He says, "I'll show you, Dave."
Yeah.
There actually wasn't as many flags there this year as there were last year. It seems like.
Yeah.
And Defiance. There was a few Defiance, but there wasn't as many as I thought I saw
There
last
was
year.
like 3 flags.
Yeah.
Where last year it felt like every other booth had one.
Right, exactly.
In the box.
Well, and one flag was there to sell the tables, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't that guy make those tables? And he was basically there to sell that. Yeah.
Yeah, the 5-tiered one.
That's the one where Scuba's Godzilla kept attacking it.
Yep.
There's pictures coming up, Jeffers. There's pictures coming up.
Godzilla got around. Boy.
Oh,
yeah, he did.
That was brilliant. But anyway, so this was the Thursday. So Friday, we've shown the hotel. We've explained how big it is. But I just want to show this quick video here of what Joefest actually looks like when it's all set up. For some reason, it just felt, I mean, we discussed this before. It felt bigger this year. It felt like a lot more vendors or whatever.
Yeah, they really packed the aisles and shrunk the aisles.
The aisles were smaller for sure.
Is that what it was?
Smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but way
The
more.
aisles weren't too bad.
We survived Joefest and did Super snaffle them all.
There's only a few left.
Right, so I'm going to go. I've made some topics on what we're going to discuss and so forth, and this is the first one. So this is basically John and Rob. This was pretty impressive. So
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning and I see John and I see Rob with this. So
John wearing his maternity leave.
Everybody, what's going on here?
Yeah, we were walking by. Rob and I walked in together because we had early bird, right, that day or something like that.
Yeah, we were the first 2 that went in.
And this guy was just selling tubs full of G.I. Joe vehicles and stuff. And Rob and I looked at him, and we kind of were in, and we went around the corner looking at a couple other booths. And then I don't know who said it, but one of us said, "You want to split it?" We went, "Okay." And so we went back and split it, 50-50, and got this tub full of G.I. Joe parts.
I mean, the pictures really don't do it justice because this was a big tub, wasn't it?
It's like 4 foot long.
Yeah, 4 or 5 feet long and 2 feet deep, right?
Yeah.
2.5 feet deep, maybe.
Look at all the shells.
Chubb just barely fit in John's Ford Explorer.
Yeah, it was as wide as the Explorer. Yeah, it just barely fit.
Well, that Night Force whale shell that you guys got right there was worth the price of it almost by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? So why was he selling it so $100? Was that like a negotiation, or he just said you can have it?
No. I think what it is he's like one of those parts guys, and a lot of times the shells and various other things are harder to sell. And I think he just put them all in there, but there was a whole bunch of extra parts in there, like wheels and platforms and doors and windows and backpacks, and there were even parts of figures and other things in there. And I could just imagine the guy didn't want to part out that much stuff. Yeah, he had 4 or 5 bins. He had 4 or 5 bins. But by the time we put our bin in the room and got back down there and walked around into the lab, all of those bins were gone. Wow. We sold them all in the first few minutes. And then I started noticing, because as we went through those parts over like Saturday and Sunday morning, I think when I was walking around Sunday especially, I noticed a lot of booths had a lot of those parts now bagged and priced, and so they some other booths must have bought a bin and started parting that stuff out as well.
Because I'm not really I don't know much about vintage G.I. Joe, but I could see everybody else, the lads that do collected their faces, like, do you know what's in there? There's all sorts in there. Let's just
and I've already sorted, bagged, and priced.
Wow.
And I got another box this big full of parts that are already priced and on different platforms for sale online. So I ended up with 2 boxes that big full of parts to sell.
There's a lot of
not to mention I made 7 auctions from the shells, and one of the auctions is already up to $82, and the other ones are like $5, $6, $7. But because I split them up into piles, so one Mamba went in that pile, one Mamba went in that pile. This one's getting a wolf. This one's getting a wolf. That one's, and there's a couple vehicles. Like I've got a shark sitting here that I'm gonna repair because most of the parts are there. I need the windshield, so which I already bought. It's in the mail, and then that's going to be a complete shark. So it's beautiful. I think it's even better shape than the one I own. And
that deal's on par with Andy and Gary's Chicago buy. It really is.
It's going to work out in the end, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know what your side of it. What did you end up with, Rob? What did you end up with? Do you think you're going to work out for you?
Yeah, it's still in the box in my trunk. I just haven't even had time. Get to my pickups. I haven't even had time to look at anything. But yeah, I don't think that was my main goal. Was looking at it was. I think we could probably flip this and easily make our money back, if not come out a little ahead. I thought it was just too much items for $50 to not be able to.
Yeah, because you two are going, and I think we were getting excited because how excited you two were. It's funny because I said the best thing about Rob was 8 years old all weekend. He was loving it. He was like having the time of his life. What did he say, Andy, when he goes there? Are we all going for lunch? No, I've had a protein bar.
He said he had a protein shake. He was going to do a couple more laps.
That was it. Yeah, I know. I'm staying.
Yeah,
anyway,
Rob and Shabby, you guys disappeared for hours on end where it's like, where are they at? Just shopping.
It was just brilliant. I mean, I don't know whether you saw my video or not. You probably didn't, Jeff, because you don't watch my stuff.
I don't watch any of your stuff. I don't like it.
I've got so much stuff. Well, this is another gentleman that was here. And what did he give us, G4? He gave us those cases, which was awesome of him.
Yes, it was really nice.
Great.
I've got it right. I'll just grab it.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Original
action figure boxes with separators.
Hang on, let me make you big, GForce. Let me make you big. I've just got mine, but if you've got yours, that's brilliant.
You got to keep them.
Nice little 6-figure holder. Thank you, Wilhelm. They're very nice. Sturdy boxes.
Yeah, it was really, really nice of him. But anyway, so we've discussed Rob's and John's club. This is another thing I want to show you. So we're on the shop floor. So
Rob was just like, "There's so much vintage toys, and we should stay here too, overnight. Like sleep over."
So many activities.
It's closed. What do you mean?
So many activities.
Rob hiding under the tablecloths.
Oh, it was superb. But here's a couple of pictures of us all when we're actually on the shop floor. So it starts off with me and DTM right there. DTM all t-shirt, top, tan on him. Well, what I'm pointing at there is those steel monsters, John.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they actually had one box because I know I've got a couple of the figures and Zero.
That's the vehicle I think I have. That's the one I have it's right over there.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it. First time I've seen it in donkey shoes. That's one of the things. I mean, I said as well, from all the lads that we know, if there was ever a Joefest convention for one of us, it'd be for VTR. It's like everything that VTR was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that a number of times. I was like, it's too bad Dave's not over here.
I know. I thought that too. Dave would lost it. Dave would have lost it.
Yeah.
So
he'd be like, I need to rent a second airplane to get home to pack up.
Hey, Shabby, can we delete this photo? My gut is in profile. I don't like it. Yeah,
I feel you.
Let's Photoshop that out.
You just had your breakfast. Yeah,
you have a binder. Just
distinted. It comes to mind.
So, Pete, what are you holding there?
No, distinted.
I can't.
It's a bag.
That's the comic book area, right? Where all the
I'm holding the.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Breeden.
Get out of there, Shabby. Get out of there.
The box, yeah.
I gotta say it. Oh, go ahead, Shabby.
Sorry, I was going to say, John, explain that thing because you were made up when you found this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you buy that?
Stole it.
Yeah, he did.
Right here, actually.
Rob had to arrest him later.
He so there were 12-inch GI Joe, right? And then in 1977, Hasbro decided that the 12-inch figure was no longer viable. They basically made this decision before Star Wars was released and taking over in the action figure world. And they said, let's bring our 12-inch figures down to 8 inches tall because it's working for Mego. So they had planned on basically making a whole new line of G.I. Joe or action adventure team figures in the 8-inch line to compete with Mego. And they came out with Super Joe. And Super Joe had a couple of big villains, Gore, which was this like green monster looking guy. It was a humanoid sort of like Swamp Thing looking guy. And then they made this Terron the Beast. And this was another alien monster that was running around. And I just like alien monster figure stuff. You know what I mean? So I wanted this guy for a long time without even realizing it was Super Joe or any of that stuff. I just wanted him because he looks freaking cool. And I like dinosaurs and monsters, you know?
He was awesome.
And, that's not an easy get.
I just happened to be there, I think, as the guy put it out or right after he put it out or whatever. And it was Sunday and I just said, how much? And he was like, I swear he said something like 100. And then he kind of went, no, 60. I need to get rid of him. And I just pulled out my wallet, gave him $60 and grabbed the monster and ran.
You went, really? Like that when he said $60, you couldn't get your money out fast enough.
Yeah. It was table for a good 5-10 minutes before that, and it wasn't on the table. So
that's what I mean.
Actively bringing stuff out, and as soon as he set it down, John had it in his hands.
So, but it was funny because when we walked around, other people were like, "Where'd you get that? Where
you got so much attention with that, John."
Yeah,
you did. You're right, DTM. So this was upstairs. What did we think of this?
It was a neat build. Yeah.
That's Super 7s.
Did you notice as well that the vehicles next to it were also cardboard? They weren't.
Oh no, those weren't real. I didn't know that.
They weren't real.
Yeah. See it in person. I only saw the pictures.
No, yeah, this was a made up thing, like a mock, whatever you want to call it. What do you call it? Like a custom.
Yeah, it was a custom
build, yeah.
But it was funny as well because when I was reading up on it, I was telling the lads, I was going, "Oh, they've got a life-size Cobra." But I didn't know they meant life-size to the figures, and I'm like, "Oh, we're all gonna get in it." Well, I'm all
yeah. It's gotta be. Where would it be? It'd be out back somewhere.
Oh, so there's what there the do.
So, do you want to know what the girls did?
Yeah, go on.
Nah.
We partied at the pool.
With or without the flag?
Without.
Dan.
Without.
That pool
That's
is
a great picture.
really nice, and we always go by it every year and go, "Oh yeah, the pool."
What have you?
A little girl with us. She was amazing.
Oh, we'll talk about her definitely.
Yeah.
Did one of you say there was a lot more cosplay this year?
I thought there was over there in that corner. They all seem to just hang out by the table, but
they all put them in the corner, and I didn't think. I thought there was more last year.
So, Pete, do you want to explain this?
So my one of my big purchases was a Shogun Godzilla this year on Friday night preview night, and as Jeff and I were going by the flag, we had to do some comical pictures with Godzilla.
Yes,
I bought a couple of things from him because he's 3D printing a lot of cool stuff, but I accidentally shot him with the fist off Godzilla.
You did. It was hilarious. And so there's Pete's back to the right of the conning tower of the flag as he's holding Godzilla up. So I took this photo, and it's just like, it was so much fun to see that. And this guy had some really cool stuff. Underneath the deck of that flag was like 5 layers of 3D printed interior aircraft carrier stuff that he's done for sale. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was a cool setup.
Yeah, every year he's
bunks, lockers, latrines.
Yep. Arcades, cafeteria, amazing stuff.
Nail salon.
Yeah.
Cover girl got to get done up somewhere.
Yep. Had
But
lights.
this was on a few layers, or one. It wasn't just a story underneath. It was like 5. It was huge. Wasn't it?
On rollers.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah.
Well, wasn't some of that stuff because I own those lockers and the bunk beds and stuff. Those are from Click and Play. So I there's a lot of Click and Play sets that fit into the flag.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, got you.
I don't think all that was 3D printed. I think some of it was from Click
just
and Play.
the bunks and the lockers, and everything else is his creation.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
Toilets and bathrooms and conduit and the chow line and
different hatches and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who's this GForce? The guy with the glasses?
That is Big Dub or
Big Dub.
Brian. Yep.
And he's a YouTube toy guy. Is that right? With DTM and Ellen here.
Yep. He's from Atlanta area. And
Oh, hey.
he goes to tons of times.
Ken was working his ass off the whole time.
Yeah, I bought their comic, and they got more to sign it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, Ken was in the booth for. Yeah, there you go, John.
Yep.
Yeah,
Delta 17.
Delta 17 stuff, right? He was. Those guys, those figures from last year have come along so amazingly cool.
They looked really cool. Yeah,
the detail and manufacturing they're doing on those. That's a really cool line.
They did.
Yeah, it's really good.
So these were last year. Who are these again? Do they do it for? Is it
The
like
finest.
the 501st or something?
Yeah, exactly. But G.I. Joe. Yep, they're called the finest.
Right.
With the
brilliant.
Speaking of cosplay, look at those faces.
You look like we've been up to something. Like
You're right.
You sure do.
Dave, you look like I've been drinking.
Oh, that's the one. See, now here's the girls right here.
That's good.
Girl gang.
You missed Helen in that.
Yeah, we
Without
got
Helen, yeah.
That's
a great photo. I love that photo.
We should take the one that has Helen in it. It has another 3 girls. I think it was without Emily. And put Helen into that one.
Photoshop her in.
Photoshop her in.
Yeah. I can work on that.
So
James Brown.
James Brown. So for you, so what is it? Augusta's at the birthplace of James Brown. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. Yeah.
We sold it.
No,
It was Sunday after everybody left, right?
Yeah, that's just as mentioned.
We walked down the street Sunday afternoon after the Joefest was basically done. So we went down there to see James Brown and walked around the town, walked around the water.
Did you get in the hot tub?
What's that?
Yeah.
And what did we do? We went to that Mexican restaurant, right, Dave?
Yeah, we're nice.
Yeah, that was a good restaurant. It was good.
Yeah, very good.
What do you think of the food over here, Dave? What do you? I mean,
yeah, I've always liked American cuisine. So yeah, it's a lot better than we have over here.
Yeah,
hamburgers, Dave. Hamburgers.
Yeah, I've had far too many.
So, Emily,
started eating them 2 weeks ago, and I think I've had, apart from one day, I've had a burger every day while we're on. Yeah.
Emily, what was your, like you're relatively new to the toy scene.
Yes.
What did you think when you went out on that sales floor, like seeing it for the first time?
Well, I have been to toy shows, just not with Andy. So this is my first time going with Andy.
Oh, she's been to more than I have.
The scope was a little bigger though for this one. I've probably been to one maybe half that size.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was cool. It was packed in there though. Everything was as pretty similar to what I had experienced before, just a bigger scale. And what was cool for me is seeing you guys and what you loved. And that's what I asked Andy. I was like, show me what's cool. What do you like? What's cool here? He's like,
Everything. Did you lose Andy at any one point? Like, where did he run off to? I need to put a bell on him.
Well, no, actually, he lost Tova and I because Tova had her eye on some Care Bears. So
I know that booth. That was a great booth.
Yeah. Tova kind of went nuts on things. She got real. I don't know. She really got into it there. She was pretty happy with the Care Bear find she got.
Now, guys, if I could just give me a second here. Tova's my 8-year-old daughter, and it's the first time I've taken her to a toy show. It's the first time we've gone to a toy show. It's the first time I've been to Georgia, Augusta, and actually been in the same room as, a few of you, although I have been around you guys at least once, a few of you. But I don't know if I would necessarily recommend to somebody who's doing all these first-time things to bring an 8-year-old girl and girlfriend to something like this. I don't know if I would tell somebody to do that because there's a lot to look at. There's a lot going on. Knowing that I was going to see buddies and all that stuff, I'm not sure I'd recommend that. However, with Anna, Leslie, Helen, plus my daughter, knowing a lot of you guys from just being on Instagram chats and seeing, live streams and other, it couldn't have gone better for me, for Emily, for my daughter. And it is 100% because of you guys making everybody feel so welcome, with us being friends, like actual friends and not just like toy guys that we know.
Right.
And the experience was so much better than I could have hoped for. And I want to say thank you guys for that.
I'm filling up.
No,
Yeah.
It seemed like your daughter had a blast. It looked like
she had a better time than all of us.
Yeah.
She had a great time.
Shabby gave her some money, and we gave her some money.
Yeah.
She had a little walking around cash.
I gave her a whooping and
all she
drumming.
really wanted to do was swim in the pool and stay in a hotel. That's all she wanted to do. The rest was bonus, right?
Wow.
I agree, Andy. This is the second year for Anna and I going there, and Anna has no she is not a fan of this collection, and she doesn't understand my collecting habit.
She's more of a Star Wars, Wars.
Yeah. Not at all. But and she wouldn't have probably gone if she hadn't known that Leslie was going to be there, and Helen and Emily and other people to like hang out with that were not fully ensconced in the collecting part of
it
things.
wouldn't be the same though, would it? Without
know.
Leslie and Anna, it just wouldn't be the same. 2
Well,
years in a row, your wife has made me fall off my chair just laughing. I've never known you to laugh. Last year when she got drunk and then she goes, "He put me in on toys the bread of the people." Right, that's been a for the past year. And then when she did today, and she pulled, I mean, at the weekend, and she pulled out that Walker's bread. Oh my life! I just laughed.
Yeah, when she gets a little booze in her, she has a tendency to get a little.
I wasn't going to say that, Jeff. I wasn't.
Anna's always lovely. I don't know what you're talking
say. Let's just say hilarity ensues.
Oh, she.
Well, I gotta ask, like, Anna, Emily, and Helen, like DTM, you can answer for Helen. Now we know that Leslie collects strawberry shortcake stuff. Do you guys actually collect any, even outside of toys? Like, do you collect plants or shoes or you know what I mean? Like, is there something that you're just as passionate about as we are about these toys and comic books?
I tell Jeff I don't have the collecting gene. Even things that I like, I don't necessarily want to collect them.
You get one and you're good, right?
Yeah.
I do spend quite a bit of money, more than I should, at like Sephora.
Yeah, makeup stuff.
Makeup.
John, whenever I come home with something, I'm like, look what I got, and I got it for this price, and her immediate reaction every single time is sell it. Sell it.
I don't understand. I don't.
But when he comes home with those toys, you just pull out your Sephora bags.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Look at all of the mascara I have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a collection, Anna.
Yeah. You don't want to
colors.
You don't want to see our bathroom.
You're right.
I think that would be awesome. In the middle of Joefest, there's like a legit Sephora booth.
Yeah, right. There you go.
It would be an early bird.
I bet it'd be hopping.
She would early bird that. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, but I think you
and the gal working the desk would be cover girl for.
But you do have a good time because you did go on the floor for a bit, you girls. It wasn't as if you never went on it.
For a different reason than what we go on there for. She goes on there to find cosplayers to judge.
No,
not judge.
I give back
Enjoy.
She puts a backstory to them. She likes to develop a backstory.
I give them names. It's a whole thing. I love people watching anyway, and it's prime people watching.
It is prime people watching.
She's the people watching.
I tell you what, though, some of that cosplay, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean,
there was a guy walking around there in a Snake Eyes outfit that was probably the best Snake Eyes outfit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
No way, Cy.
Comics.
No way, Cy.
There was a guy in a Ghostbusters outfit that made it look pretty legit.
Yeah.
That was pretty legit.
He's actually Big Dub's friend.
Rob with
he's always on his videos.
lab pack. Yeah. Lab pack.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I'm not sure if it was that or a custom made, but it looked good.
No, it was a HasLab.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Rob, what does your family think of your collecting habit?
My wife's like Anna. She doesn't get it either. they would be like this probably.
Next year she's coming. Next year she's going.
Yeah, my boy. Of course he loves.
Does she mind it though, Rob? Does she? Because like our Jen, she's not a collector at all.
Yeah.
But she doesn't mind it. You know, I've got my toy room and she's supportive of it. Is your wife the same way, Rob?
Yeah. She doesn't mind it. She just doesn't get it. My wife is more. She's more like our house is already small. We've outgrown our house.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's just more clutter, more stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, my rule. I've had the rules told to me that Anything I buy cannot bust out of this room.
Right. He's already been like, I've caught him eyeing my office for space. It's not happening. No.
No, I did ask for more room. I did. She would.
Your space looks amazing, Shabby, right now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's getting there. But anyway, let's go back to some.
And here I got a second house just for the collection. Oh.
You have 2 houses.
Yeah.
This is us all at the bar when we're all having a good time. So I've just got dining pictures at the moment. So that was the first night, wasn't it? Or was that the what night?
No, that was Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the one where DTM made me cry laughing because he bought a drink and he didn't buy his missus one. Right? and she got really offended by it. And he goes, "Listen," he says to her, "Don't give me your attitude because you dress like Beetlejuice." Oh my God!
Did she really say that?
Oh, it was so funny.
Oh, I missed that.
Like 24/7.
That's a great picture. Yeah.
That's probably one of our favorite photos of the whole weekend.
Yeah. It was just that's what it was like the whole weekend. Wasn't it? Just a good laugh. You know, look at that. Look at GForce's face.
That's Friday night.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Friday.
DTM, I know we were taking the piss about the weather and everything, but how did you find the weather, DTM? That because it was a hot weekend, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I think I just adapted to it quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
We didn't go outside.
Yeah, well, that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, something funny was, I walked in Friday and Scuba, and then we're already in the bar, and I go to check in and I can see Scuba, and I'm like, secretly, holy shit, that's Scuba Pete. Like, it was like, like I've been watching and hearing about this guy on, retro blasting and analog toys for years and years, never met him. And I'll, get checked in and I'll walk up and I stick my hand out to give him a handshake. And he's like, get over here. It's like almost
Because I was just like,
well, that's
Pizza Hugger.
That's what was neat. That's what was neat about Thursday was like, we went to the pool, then we got things settled in our rooms and stuff, and then we came. Scuba was like, let's go down to the bar, and just about every other person knew who Scuba was.
Yeah,
that's how I got to know more people because I don't recognize, even if I hear people's voices, you sometimes don't see them online, or they're an Instagram person. You just see their name in the chat. You don't see them. But Scuba knew who everybody was, and
I tried.
That was what was cool about Thursday night. Was just like, wow, it's good I'm hanging out with Scuba because I wouldn't know any of these people.
Our grand staircase area is always the hub, post sales floor, before and after. You want to meet up with anybody? Like, I'll meet you downstairs at the bar.
Yeah,
just makes it easy.
Both
the bar was the extension. The bar was the extension, basically, of our rooms, and
it was. But there's no awkwardness. Have you noticed? There's no awkwardness at all. I mean, it's you meet Rob for the first time, and John. But I've been talking to Rob and John and DTM for years, so it's like no difference really.
Well, I thought the same thing. I was actually kind of amazed. I was like, because you're like, boy, I hope everybody gets along in person. I hope everybody, it's not weird or anything, and there were some people that I didn't know, like I didn't know Rob that well ahead of time, but then we immediately clicked. It was just like you were immediately friends and had tons of stuff to talk. It was like like you said, no awkwardness, nothing at all. It was just like you were immediately together in like a group of friends, It was great.
We really have been friends for probably the better part of 5 years online, but when you finally get to meet that person in person, it's a different experience, So, but it's great that you don't even miss a beat. You just, like your old friends, hop right to it.
Exactly.
So, Rob, you know how you said you maybe just a little starstruck meeting Pete for the first time,
Not Andy.
Shabby was a little starstruck meeting my daughter for the first time.
Yeah, I was. That little girl, babe. So I walk into the restaurant and she stands on this chair and she puts her arms out. Honestly, I was like, I don't know what to say. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was so nice. Yeah. She was brilliant. So this is us, like I say, having breakfast in the morning, and there we all are in the bar again. He was a nice guy. The guy next to John right there. Who was that guy?
Yeah, he was.
So that guy Steve, he is a buddy of mine from the Whatnot groups that I've gotten to know, and I don't know if anybody's done Whatnot apps here in the U.S. And it's it's an auction site that's like 30-section auctions. I've built a lot of my G.I. Joe collection from that, and from one or two buyers, and usually in the chat are the same people. And so I've gotten to know Steve, and Steve's a customizer for Star Wars stuff. Andy's ended up buying things from him. Turns out.
Yeah.
On Facebook, turns out Emily is in the same city as him. Neighborhood.
Away from me.
Yeah, it's like right there. And his wife owns a boutique shop for clothing where Emily, you shop there, I guess, sometimes. And
I get my collection.
Exactly. So yeah, Steve was there for one night, and so he hung out with us a bunch, and he was awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah,
he was brilliant. He was he's like I said, I think that's what made the weekend, wasn't it? We all had such a good time and such a good laugh, and it's just superb. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Right, let's get on to the next thing I want you to talk to you all about. It was this bloke. Now, Bob. This guy amazed me. He really did for his age and what he was like.
Are you sure?
It's not that big of a deal.
Right there.
Yeah. That was amazing. That was amazing that morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that morning. So I came down and was going to have breakfast, and John and Rob were already down there having breakfast, and everyone else was kind of doing their own thing and stuff. And Bob just comes walking. I sat down, and these guys were kind of finishing up, and I was just getting my stuff. And Bob comes walking by, and Pete had introduced him because Pete knows him pretty well. And Pete, you had introduced me to him earlier in the first day at his booth, and just said hi and stuff. And he comes walking by, and he kind of looked a little lost, and he saw us, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" So he sat down and started talking to us, and he just and him and I went and got breakfast, and he just hung out with us. And then Rob, you and John, you guys left to go hit the floor because it was early bird. Mm-hmm. And him and I sat and had breakfast together for like a half hour and just sit and BS'd. He got my email address. We've kept in touch, and he's freaking amazing.
Yeah. He was a rock star.
He was very forthcoming with conversation, and he was.
Well, he cut me off once because I asked a question. I said, working for Lego, I know that Lego made these like wooden ducks and things that you had to pull behind with a string. So they weren't always into the brick like we know today. And I said, what did Palatoy make before they were into G.I. Joe and all this stuff that we all know and love today? And Bob goes, you got to go to my talk. He goes, what are you trying to get the secrets out of me early?
I know. Pete, tell him about your supplying of alcohol to the 80-year-old man.
Tell
that story.
Bob was he was on deck to be kind of, I don't know, like the keynote speaker for the convention to talk about the Robo Skull. And of course they had the guys from Skeletron that are doing the Robo Skull Mark II. And so I told Bob before the meetup that I would make sure he had a cold Guinness for his talk. And he was like, oh, Scuba. And I was like, we'll take care of you. Well, Leslie really is the star because she iced the beer down Saturday afternoon. And so we had about 20 Guinness ice cold ready to go. And we come in and I see Bob, and he's kind of like, he's taking in the moment because more and more people are showing up in this room to hear him talk.
They're coming for him.
Yeah, they're coming for him. And he's starting to get a little bit overwhelmed. And I'm sitting next to Brian, and I said, Bob, you want that Guinness? And he was like, yes. And I was like, you got it. So he had Solo Cup, and it's the nitrogen Guinness. So filled him up. And then Brian was like, and I go, I think you need one too. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, you're a good Irish man. Here you go. And then like the one
Skeletron dude.
Skeletron guy goes, I don't mean to be a beggar, and I'm like, here you go. So he had his tennis while he had his talk. So
that morning while we were talking to him at breakfast, and he started telling us about how Tony from Analog Toys got in touch with him and the Pow Toy guys and went and toured their facility and did that documentary. And you should have just seen the way he lit up telling that story.
Yeah.
It was like such a great memory. He spoke really highly of Tony. I thought that was really a really neat thing to sit there and listen to.
It was really, yeah, I agree, Rob. It was really cool.
So here we all are watching Bob, and there's Bob doing it right there. But this turned out to be a bit of a catastrophe, didn't it, guys?
A little bit,
yeah.
I felt,
The
The
sound would have been better.
The sound quality sucked. The sound quality sucked because for some stupid reason the organizers let the swap meet happen in the same hallway right there next to his talk. He had
room.
In the same room, so you had this background noise of people doing a swap meet not next door, right in the same room, and it was ridiculous. I got up and looked around to try to find an organizer. I couldn't find anybody. I talked to one of the sound guy that was on next, and I said, "This is absolutely atrocious what they're doing to him."
It was sad.
It's the first time Bob's been to the U.S. It could be one of his last conventions, and they couldn't have the respect to give him his own room to give his talk, which was an amazing talk. And
which was weird because how many rooms were next door that were empty?
They actually had Joefest on them. Like
exactly.
They were
all weekend.
I sent a couple messages through the Joefest website and Facebook to them. Never heard a thing back. Ann and I were just like, "This is ridiculous." I mean, you could hear him, but you had to really listen. Yeah. I don't know if he noticed. I hope he didn't.
Thankfully, he didn't.
He said he didn't.
Right.
I will tell you, last year we went to Sergeant Slaughter's breakfast, and it was in that same room, positioned a little bit different, but they didn't have the swap meet. At the same time, they didn't have all the extras. It was a little easier. It's not the best room.
It's a stupid room.
It is. It's a hallway.
It's a hallway.
Yeah. So I'll just show people. So basically, this is the same room, right? And this noise is where Bob was doing his talk.
GForce, this is the swap meet. Look at this. Pete.
And it only got louder.
And it only got louder for Bob to have to talk over with a mic and a
And Bob was at the far end of that. So it's not like that was going on while Bob was talking at that far end of that hallway.
There were some guys hangout spot than a swap meet. It ended up just being. I mean, you could barely even walk through it. It's like almost being like in a club. Like there's.
I asked some guys to move down because they were too close to the Bob area, and
I thought the Marauder guys were ragged. They were like they were second row behind where Bob was sitting, and I would look back and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna murder somebody.
Well, it's the same as when me and DTM was sat. We had it like two ears, didn't we, DTM? We had him talking there and all that noise.
I'm deaf in one ear, so I struggled hearing.
Really talk about super loud, which was the card playing.
Yeah. What you're talking about.
It was the pizza too, because as he's talking, that was a bit distracting as well, because he had all those pizzas behind him, and everyone kept grabbing pizza. And they could Leslie, you did that. You got all our pizzas, so we were sound. We did that.
We were all solid.
That's when GForce beat Toto at Rummy, and he let out a loud scream.
Yeah. Guys, I hope you Americans are saving money for the Toy Fair NEC. See you there, Shabby's Kickers. Be like this. Be like this. Well, talking about the Scubas, one of the traditions now, I suppose, Scuba Pete, is the Scuba Suite party. And so here's some pictures of us all at Scuba Pete's Suite party.
Oh no.
So there's a romantic one right there. That's a nice picture.
Rob, I like that one.
Happy couple.
Yeah.
So there we all are, and that was the worst thing. Me and GForce had to go and find chairs, didn't we? Because there was so many of them. It's on each other's knees. So explain this, Scuba Pete.
Yeah, Godzilla. He can't hold his liquor, and then he laid in bed all day Saturday trying to sleep off Friday night.
And Saturday only got worse.
Yeah, Saturday was only worse. He was watching
grabbed the
TV,
remote,
drinking beer
in bed.
out of control, really.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about atomic breath.
Oh.
Photo. I love that photo.
There's a Take That reunion right there.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a great picture. That's a great picture.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Brilliant. Loves
Study
it.
and share.
I like this. I like this picture. Yeah, this is a good one.
That's an album. It's an album cover.
Yeah,
Isn't
it is, right?
Rush.
They all got their eyes. They all did the eyes.
That one.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yes, I'm voguing.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh, that song. That was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Andy, can you give us a little bit of more information?
I can't believe you got everybody in the song. You did it so perfect. Like that must have taken hours, days to write. It just seems like, how'd you fit everybody in?
Well, everybody that was in the Joefest little side chat, the one person, and I apologize that I didn't get into the song, was Anna.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Oh, good.
Well, now I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have the time now to really.
Yeah. You'll get your own next time.
If you would like to take my line, Anna, you're more than welcome to it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take it.
I'll just sing you "Wind Beneath My Wings." How about that?
Oh God, please don't.
The funny thing about this picture, you see me, you see Scuba, but look at the bottom underneath there.
Who's that? Who is that? It's GForce.
We had plenty of bourbon, plenty of beer.
Yeah, it was a great beer. Yeah.
That was the first night or second night.
Yep. First night.
Brilliant. Yep. Oh, look at you in your Holly Chronicles out there,
I know.
representing.
Nice.
So overall, I mean, for the 3 days, we all had some awesome stuff. But I mean, we all bought loads of stuff, didn't we? We all got quite a bit of stuff. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to show everything. Like I said, I've just got a couple of things to show. So I'll go first. I'll make myself bigger sick, and I'll just show you some of the little things that I got. So I always like to buy the vintage. I'm not really a vintage, as you know. I don't really buy that much vintage stuff. But at Joefest, I like to get the vintage stuff. So one of the finds I thought was this stilt walker Mattel, Masters Universe.
Oh, that was a great find.
And then and it was only 25, and I checked, make sure everything was on it, and it was, and it doesn't even look like it's been touched. I got it for 20, which I was really happy about. Then I always, for some reason, again, it's become a tradition to get mask stuff. Last year I bought the Condor and Brad Turner, and this year I found the Piranha, which is right there, and it still has the missiles inside. So I was really happy.
Cool.
To find
Yeah.
The vampire. This is the vampire.
Vampire. I'm sorry, the Piranha's one with the sidecar in it. The vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. So that was pretty impressive. Catching up to Reynolds.
I always like how that guy's hair sticks out the top of his
Right?
mouth.
Yeah.
Having John there was like a walking toy encyclopedia. Like
It was-
this guy.
I could not agree more. I bought our Sire Silver Surfer and I brought John over and he gave me the whole history of Toy Biz. It was brilliant.
You're going to get a history lesson with every toy, but
Yeah, he was superb for that. Last year as well, I like to get the Joefest exclusive, and there was a lot of exclusives this year.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I went for was the Monster Force one. I think some of you bought the red one, didn't you?
Yeah,
I did.
And I bought the blue one. So that was this year's exclusive for me to get that. And then I got loads of gifts. I mean, how good was that in the suite when we were all buying, swapping each other gifts? It was like Christmas morning, wasn't it? You know,
It really was.
It was hard. It was hard to find a place to sit because there was so much stuff stacked there.
You're right. You're right. And then I found this. It was between this and the saw, but Scuba said, "No, Shabby, you've got to get that one." And it was the battle bones right there.
Wow.
Yeah, which was $50, which I thought was really good. So
that's a good price. That was good.
Yeah.
Just the box.
Yeah, the box is in great shape, and they still got the inserts inside it. And the guy was dead honest. He said one of the hooks is cracked, but apart from that, it's immaculate. And I checked it, and he opened it, and it was perfect. So, but it's like what you just said, Rob. It's the box, isn't it? Really, it's just the box.
Just the displayability of that box.
Yes.
You were walking around the shop for show floor without Shabby, like you were your first born.
Hey, Shabby. Anna just whispered to me, "Hey, for $50, I could get to
MAC lipsticks."
All right, so let's go over to Jeff and Anna.
If you will.
What were some of your finds, guys?
Anna got nothing.
Nothing.
I got
just lasting memories.
Yep.
Anna got
Buckwater Starfighter.
That's it. Look how white that still is, though.
I know. Yeah.
Really?
Nothing cracked.
Crazy. Fine.
It's beautiful.
Nothing's broken. With the box.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm backwards.
We like our boxes.
Yep, we do love the boxes.
There's an upside down back to it. That's cool.
Yep. And then the last night we were there, some guy above us was having a room sale, a massive room sale, and I got the Chewbacca bandolier.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's a little beat up. It took a bit of a hit on the ride home.
Yeah, he carried it on the airplane. Like, and he was trying to.
Did he not wear it?
Wearing it?
I told her I would just wear it. I should have just wore it.
It was embarrassing. And then he had this huge
Embarrassing? What the hell?
bag of Mando toys, like he just showed, huge bag of them that he didn't want to like mess up. And he tried to put it underneath the seat in front of him, but it wouldn't fit. And then it was up to me because I was in the middle seat.
Right.
To flag down the flight attendant and ask him to put this massive bag of nerdery up in the
Do you see what I put up with? Do you see what I put up with?
Absolutely brilliant.
He has no worries on what I have to pack.
That's nice. Look at that.
Nice.
I didn't know you got that, Jeff.
I didn't either, Shabby. That was on the quiet because I didn't see until the video.
I don't know why, because he didn't want Andy to get it. That's why he kept that quiet.
Yeah.
I already got one.
Hiding the Buck Rogers from me, and he's hiding the Star Wars from Andy, and he's hiding.
I'll tell you what. Andy hummed and hawed about going all year long, and I kept saying, "There's a lot of great Star Wars stuff. There's a lot of great Star Wars stuff," and there wasn't as much higher end or even mid end Star Wars stuff as I thought there was last year. And same with comic books. I mean, John, you and I do comic books, and there wasn't. And usually when we go to one of these things, I help Scuba buy a comic book. We didn't do that this year because the comic book
There was only like 2 tables,
Two,
right?
There was about 3 tables, but they just didn't have any. They didn't have any good books. There wasn't anything. The comic book market's kind of depressed right now, so it was tough to find good comic books. But
I was depressed.
Yeah, and then of course I army built a lot, and then I got the red shadow guy.
Oh yeah, the prototype.
The prototype stuff.
From, Matt the Kraken made.
Yep.
In England.
So I didn't spend as much this year as I did last year, thankfully. But I got some good stuff.
He's not broken, Anna.
It's the thing. He looks like something else.
I don't want to know.
Red. I have that shade of lipstick.
Yeah.
Right, John. On that note, what did you get, mate?
So I had a number one goal, and my number one goal was to get the whale, the killer whale from G.I. Joe. And it just so happens that I did a video putting it together, and it's all here.
Oh yeah.
Your video was brilliant, John. It was
the
brilliant.
fans work. The fans work good here.
That's the hard part right there is those damn fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this is a wonderful piece. I mean, it's huge. It's big. I don't know where it's going to end up going.
Have you put it in the bathtub yet?
No, I thought about floating it for the video, but I didn't.
Have you bathed with it? Have you bathed with it?
No, not yet. Not yet. I have a pond out back, so I was thinking when I was doing the video, I was like, I should float it in the pond, and then I thought, what if the current takes it and it goes into the middle of the pond, and,
and a gator gets it?
Yeah, or a gator gets it. Yeah. And then of course we saw the Super Joe Terron.
Oh, so good.
And it's got the battery cover and everything's in there. And the guy said the last time he turned it on, it worked. But I actually haven't gone and bought batteries yet. I got to go buy some batteries and check it out. So I'll do it for the video when I make the video. But this little thing had a light sensor on it. So each Super Joe had a light on the figure. And when the light hit the sensor, if he was walking toward him, he'd stop. Because that was the gimmick. I did get a Visionaries guy.
Perfect.
And then we got a couple of Centurions, which are freaking awesome.
Nice.
John, that was another thing with the Terron. I think he's called Gargon across the pond.
Yeah, Gargon. That's for Action Man or whatever. Yeah.
Force line, whatever.
So it was exactly the same mold and everything, just a different name.
I believe.
Yeah.
So.
And then this is the helicopter one.
Yeah, those are.
And they actually work.
Wow, you got some good ones, John.
You got some good
I need
stuff.
a little gun that goes right here. That's the only thing missing off this. And I found a sticker sheet because there's supposed to be stickers on these. But I already found a sticker sheet for $3, so it's on the way.
Very cool.
Nice.
That it does.
I found a guy on Etsy that does the stickers.
Yep.
And then we got the Delta 17s.
Oh yeah.
Their line was so cool.
Yeah,
these guys. The video is done. It's up unlisted. But if you want it, I'll send you a link if you want it ahead of time. But it'll go up probably Saturday because right now I got it for channel members and for Patreon.
Yep.
Give them something to look at early. But this is an awesome line. And after having one in my hand, I'm going to get more. I'm going to go on their website and buy a couple more because these are really nice.
They are. And when you look at them up close, the detail and the quality of those are absolutely amazing.
To see that as Paint Masters last year and now.
Yeah.
Those Tony robots.
Tony wind up.
One of those little robot guys. I saw them and had to have them. That's good. That's good, right? Oh, and my autograph from Bob. Yep.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. I have Bob's book that he autographed.
Yeah.
I've got to thank Scuba Pete for mine because VTR sent me the Action Man, and Pete said, "Well, why don't you bring it to Joefest? He'll sign it for you." And I thought, "Well, will he do that?" And then Pete said, "Of course he will." So I got a protective case for it and took it. And he was a really nice bloke.
And how
really
cool!
nice.
Yeah. He was doing it $5, and
that
$5 went to charity. Like that's
yeah, exactly. He said to me, "I don't ask for money for my autographs, but if you'd like to," so you're gonna say yes, aren't you? $5 for that, and I think for somebody like me who grew up with Palatoy, I'm never going to see this bloke again. It's not as if I'll be in England next year or the year after. So it was nice to meet him. It really was. So
for sure, that was a highlight.
Yeah, right, Andrew and Emily.
Well, like Jeff said, I was hoping for Star Wars because that's what I collect, and I do have some GI Joe stuff from when my brothers and I were younger, and so that was actually really cool to just be completely engulfed in GI Joe stuff. It's been a long time since I'd seen a lot of those things, and it was awesome. Now, while there wasn't a ton of Star Wars stuff, you guys said there weren't a lot of flags there, and there weren't. But I saw 4 sand crawlers there. I think there were more sand crawlers than flags at Joe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which is weird. Yep. But I did pick up something Star Wars related. It was still sealed.
That's crazy.
Fantastic.
And the cardboard's okay, but it's all there. I thought that was a
Emily,
fun.
did you get excited that it's in its original shrink wrap? I mean, were you like, holy shit, Andy, this is fantastic?
Yeah.
Good find, Andy.
It has the box around it.
Yeah.
That
was a great find.
Yeah, were you excited that I got that?
I was beyond thrilled.
Okay, that's good. Good.
Right. You can tell. You can tell.
And I picked up
Copperhead.
Oh, the variant one.
Copperhead. And yes, this is the variant one. And just for comparison, here's the common.
Oh, yeah.
Straight.
So the common one had green on the bicep straps and gloves and helmet, but there was a variant. And you guys tell me, because I'm not as deep into the G.I. Joe game, but aside from this guy and the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, are there any other well-known variants of Joe figures?
You haven't been watching my videos, have you?
Well,
really.
Not as many as I'd like, John.
No, yeah. I've done all the Lifeline variants, the Tripwire variants.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a number of them. There are a number of them.
I am familiar with the Tripwire and the Lifeline. In fact, I think I have.
And there's Zorana.
Is the mail away one.
Right.
Yeah, but the other really big one is Zorana with. There's a Zorana with earrings, which I did. I actually bought the Zorana with earrings at the show.
Okay.
And
it's a different head sculpt.
Different head sculpt.
And then the third thing that I got, I only got 3, but this is a little bit more in line with what I collect Star Wars wise. I bought a whole bunch of G.I. Joe card backs.
That's cool.
And so there's like 3 groups here. These are all the straight arm.
Those are amazing. Those are amazing, Andy.
And I don't have all of them, but I have nearly all of them. I'm missing Cobra Commander. And
the thing is, Cobra Commander didn't come out on a card with a straight arm.
Not on the straight arm. You're right.
Yeah.
Steve was quite jealous that you got those. He's like, "Oh, I want those so much."
That's good to know. Then I got some 83 and 84. I always thought that was pretty sweet.
Andy, was that a lot?
Hey, Claire.
This was in a binder at one of the tables. And then I bought this one when I got home.
Cool.
And,
the original one.
Yeah. So these were all in a binder, and they had probably 200. There was so many, but I went through and grabbed all of the early ones that I could. And they were selling them for $5, $10, $15, or $20.
That's it?
That's it. Wow. And so like if it was complete and the flag points weren't cut out, it was $20. I got the Storm Shadow one for $20.
Wow.
And that one's usually around 70,
Yeah. All right, so let me ask you, are G.I. Joe cards just like the vintage Star Wars cards, and they're expensive and it depends on the character and so on?
Yeah.
So the flag points are like the proof of purchase for the Star Wars cards. And so and then it has like, this is the first kind of wave of the and you get a file card which tells details and stuff, which were always $3.49. I got mine for $3.24 when I was a kid.
That's nice because the bubble didn't rip off the picture. I mean, that picture is almost completely.
Yeah. Andy, are you going to do the same display with the little plinth?
Not with the not with the straight arms, because I already got those in the little acrylic cases with their file card.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe for some of like the 83, 84 figures, I might do that with like Gung Ho, the Firefly, some of the other guys that I really liked.
I will say I like your t-shirt tonight. That t-shirt is awesome, Andrew. That is so cool. Oh, brilliant.
But yeah, those are the only 3 things that I got. And I'll tell you, there were 2 things that I really agonized over getting, and I'm still not sure I made the right decision by passing on them. There was the Art of G.I. Joe book,
right?
That I still may get, which was incredible. That was $150, and I still might buy one off online.
Yeah, it's a great book.
And then there were the 6, I think, jet transformers, the sweepers, I believe they're called. I don't have any transformers anymore, but there were a couple of tables that had all 6 of them for sale, and I went back and forth in my head about getting.
Well, you did buy one, because I opened my bag and went, "What the France?" I couldn't believe it.
I did.
You stuck that in, because I didn't open my stuff up till the next day, and I thought, "Oh, you belter! That's awesome!" I couldn't believe it.
So I didn't. What I decided was, so I bought that one. Which one was it? Thundercracker?
Yeah.
So I bought that one, and then I came up to there were 2 tables pretty close to each other that had all 6 of them, and it was like, well, why have one when I can get all 6? And,
right.
I mean, that's how I think. I don't know about you guys. That's how I think.
That's just a Lemire bloody classic, that, isn't it?
You're there.
6.
You're there. You're not going to see him anywhere else like that. You got to do it.
I mean, you're not wrong, Jeff. But and so I decided, like, okay, well, I'll still get these 6, and then I'll just give Shabby the other one, and then I didn't get them. So. So yeah, those are. I don't know if you guys have, thinking back, like, oh, I saw that. I kind of wish I would have got it.
Yeah.
Now that you're home, but those are my 2 things that I was like, maybe I should have got those.
Well, you'll have to go back next year, Andrew. You'll have to come back next year and see if it's there.
I thought we're gonna do different places now. We're just gonna go all over the map.
Maybe. So I had one thing that I forgot to tell you that I got. Speaking of that, and Pete convinced me to get it, and Pete, tell him about it, Pete. I don't know much about him. He's your
He's a Euro exclusive, and you bought that from a new friend of ours that we made at the NEC, who brought over all kinds of Palatoy Action Force, but also some of that juicy European Tiger Force exclusive stuff at a very fair price, I might add.
Like half of what it normally goes for.
Yeah.
Wow. He was a nice guy, wasn't he, Pete? The guy that was doing that booth. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, his prices were fantastic.
I think I paid like $75 for this.
Wow. Yeah, cool. $75.
Yeah.
Look at Jeff just throwing those prices out there right in front of Anna.
Yeah. Jeff must have forgot where he was.
Phone's on you, man.
Hey, I'm making money in the family.
Well, that's all the time we've got.
Jeff Parker's opinions are Jeff's alone, and do not
and do not resemble any sort of reality.
And it's not true at all.
GForce, what did you get, Bubba? I like your t-shirt, GForce. That's awesome.
It's the best one they make. I'm gonna take you and flip you around here.
Oh, he's taking us on a tour.
Look at this.
Jesus.
So, yeah, exactly.
That's 3 back lipsticks.
G stands for G's.
All of these lovely Motu were gifted to me by the lovely Rob.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Yeah.
He's trying to get me hooked. This guy was the only G.I. Joe comic I ever had as a kid.
So why that one? Is it because of nostalgia, GForce?
Because it had Storm Shadow on it.
Yep.
Jeff Barker also gifted me a nice X-Wing Luke with his pistol.
GForce, just pick up that comic again.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird where that guy's head is.
Of course, Shabby would think that. GForce, you don't know how hard it was. You don't know how hard it was.
So that's your favorite comic. Now I get it.
Yeah.
GForce, you don't know how hard it was for me to give you that Luke Skywalker.
I know, because you army build them.
I army build those suckers, and he's in pristine condition.
He's beauty. Got no marks on his helmet.
Yep.
So picked up a couple other little things. from Star Wars. This guy was one of my favorite pickups, the Warlord.
Oh yeah,
Got him at a really low price. Complete this. Got a straight arm flash, some Motu muscle men, some adventure people.
Where'd you find that adventure person at?
You got that Trans Am?
Yep, bought the Trans Am Rough Rider.
Nice.
Some Clash of the Titans, Mr. Bones, some Battlestar Galactica, GoBots, Wrestlers.
You did really good,
You
man.
did all right there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Got the Keop to go with my marks up there.
That's cool.
Andy gifted me some Bill and Ted cards and a Mando pin. And this was also from Rob, the Inspector Gadget pin. Got a couple little things for fixing up my claw. Hans Chow needed some money at the swap meet and sold me the Televiper for $40, I believe.
Yeah.
That's a good buy.
Some
Oh yeah.
Skeletron Assassins,
Cool.
Mole Rat, and a Sergeant Slaughter.
You know, one of my favorite things we got was when I bought Bob's book and he signed it. They threw the Skeletron guys threw in one of their hats, and I've been wearing that. I've been wearing that ever since. I love that hat.
That's a great hat.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was the haul.
Brilliant.
You didn't get much, did you?
No, luckily, people gave me a lot of stuff. Thanks, Rob. Because otherwise,
Man, I think that's why I said to you before. Let's show a couple of things, because the amount of stuff you lot gave to everybody, and everybody gave some stuff. Unbelievable. I always find that mega overwhelming. It's like, wow, you know, it's like that people do that for you.
we were in the suite, and you had one side of the couch, and I had the other, and all our stuff's just piling
like
up.
Christmas.
There's no place for anyone to sit.
We should next time we're going to bring a Christmas tree just to put up to make it look right.
That would be
Right.
A Joefest Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
Oh.
What have you got,
Look at this,
Scubas?
represent-
Nice hat, Leslie.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't have that. No.
From the lovely Rob, he got me Mutant He-Man, which never even saw my target around here, but in Texas, he exists. So cool.
Yeah.
I got
Ooh.
he's from Rambo.
Yeah.
He's one of the
little
harder
jealous.
ones to get, and
Yeah, a little
this
jealous.
is Nomad, and now he's culturally inappropriate. Way.
The gun pops up.
It does.
Yeah.
Is that Matt Mason?
That's what she said.
You're just happy to see me.
Yeah, this is
That's the Anna about spit her food out right there.
this is Matt Mason's cohort. I think it's Major Storm.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
That's a cool little thing. Yeah.
He was also a Leatherman.
Oh, now that was
that
that was mega. There's two things he bought that was mega jealous of. That's one of them.
Yeah.
You were so proud of that one. You were so proud of that.
Let's see. The lovely Adam from Go Figure made that custom figure, Vortex.
Yeah, it was great to see Adam. Yeah.
Adam does such good work with those.
All right, now we're off to the bigger finds. This was a late Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was saying to myself, please put it down and walk away. Please put it down. please.
Collectors.
That was so cool.
And then this is the one I stole. This was like $25.
Yeah.
Oh man, what?
See, I was standing next to you and you were like giddy when you were picking that up off the
I
table.
couldn't believe.
Yeah.
I saw the price tag hang. I thought it said $125, and I was like,
That's what I thought it said.
Well, and it was
$25. It needs the guns.
Did you try it? Does he walk?
I have not messed with it yet, but I'm eager to throw some D-cell batteries in there.
You can
We should have a battle. My Terran Beast versus your Spider Walker. We'll have a battle.
And then
My Holy Grail. Yeah.
And you got that for a steal.
Yeah, John wasn't happy, was he?
No, if I had seen that, it would have been mine. That's my holy grail, and he got it at the price that I've been waiting for.
I saw him in 2 different booths for $400 loose, and I saw one boxed for $900.
And
they were $475.
Wow.
Yeah,
were a lot of Godzillas there.
You got him for less than half that.
Yep,
yeah,
that was good. That's my that's some of the haul. And then I've got parts like Shabby Star Wars parted me. I've got bags of Death Star and Dagobah and
that's what I mean. Look at all the vintage and the condition that we've all found stuff so far. I mean, it's can't go wrong, can you? And I think, I've got to be honest, I think the prices was, they were what I wanted to pay for. It wasn't like stupid money. There was a couple of vendors that had stupid stuff in there, but apart from that, we all got deals, didn't we? Really, every one of us.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't meet anybody who wouldn't work with you. Every single one of them would.
There was that one booth that I walked away from because he wasn't bargaining at all, and his prices were way too high. I don't think he sold a single thing the whole week.
Which is weird because last year he did. I got a couple of vintage motor off that same guy. It was on at the side of the wall, wasn't it, on the far side? Yeah. And he did last year, but this year, you're right, he didn't at all this year. No.
Eternity Dreams. The big
Eternity Dreams. That was him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. He wanted some Spider-Man stuff, and he wouldn't budge.
Yeah. Right, DTM. What have you got? First of all, DTM, how did you get it all home?
Well, we had to buy another bag in end just to get everything in.
Did you?
Another bag, check baggage. So that was fun. So I bought very little G.I. Joe, none at all. So I just thought I'll buy some Simpsons instead.
Oh, wow.
The Grady twins or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
We've got
very cool.
This guy here.
Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah.
I love the way DTM's already opened it. No messing about.
Oh yeah, no messing. No. Ned Flanders. His scout outfit on. Shabby, this one's courtesy of you. You picked up this one for me. Little dude. Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
You found him at Joefest.
Yeah. I wasn't going to tell you.
You dark horse.
Well, I got a lot of stuff off you guys. It's still downstairs. I put this together. I don't know if that.
Wow, yeah.
Blood's had to go on that already. I got a couple of carded kind of things.
Nice.
They were a great find as well. The price for them were
they were really good. This one here, they've been after this for a long time on card.
Oh, I love the last action hero, yeah.
Especially in this jacket he's wearing. I've seen all the rest of them loads of times, but this one here I find on card. So that's that. And there is more stuff, but I still to unpack it all. And
that's awesome, man.
I did all right. Can I just show you a couple of bits Ellen picked up?
Of course, yeah.
I'm sorry, she's under the weather.
Well,
definitely. That sucks.
She went back to work Tuesday and then came home, and since Wednesday she's just been rubbish. So it'll probably be me next.
She misses us.
Yeah. But it is. So Ellen likes to do little PVC carrots.
Greta. That's cool.
Because you were made up because you said you've been looking for them for ages. Who made them?
Yeah. I've been trying to get hold of them. You can get them on eBay, but that's just like it was brand new. There's no chips on it or nothing. So we're really impressed.
In person, it's so much better.
Yeah, of course it is, Leslie. Big Bird in his little cowboy thing, or was it Sheriff?
Yeah.
And
Ellen had too much fun in New Orleans, didn't she?
She did. Oh God, yeah. E.T. He does walk around. He's got a floppy hand. I think he's been doing something he shouldn't have done. Toy Story, green.
Oh yeah.
And this were a good little one. This Grover airplane. Diecast. That's diecast. That's from 1982. We've looked into it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we all did all right, and we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. See, Are you glad you came then, DTM?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because I remember you saying to me, "This is awesome." You know, it's like
It was. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Seeing all you guys and walking the floor, looking for toys together, and having a few drinks, something to eat afterwards. It were everything I thought it'd be. A really, really, really good week.
It was great meeting. But again, going back to what I said before, it didn't feel weird at all.
No, it didn't. No.
You know what I mean? It's like,
and one thing. Your arms are half as long as everyone said. I was gutted. I thought they're going to be like an octopus. No.
That's the third year there for Pete and I, and that's kind of our tradition is walking the floor together and hunting together. Yeah. That's the thing we look forward to the most. And and doing that with everybody else was amazing, except for Shabby. Of course, he disappears every time he gets on the floor. You just don't see him.
Oh yeah, he's just like his brother, straight off.
Like a strike force.
Yeah,
it was
Anybody seen Shabby?
No one did.
So Lewis says DTM the boss. There you go.
Oh, he's a mate of mine from work.
Well,
he said he'd be
watching Lewis.
Yeah.
Right, Rob. Let's see what you got, buddy.
Okay, first of all, let me just say, if anyone's in the chat and thinks that this is the first time I'm seeing 90% of these pickups from everybody, it's kind of fun. Yeah, you just don't. When we go back to the room, we're visiting and talking. You don't really ask, hey, what'd you pick up? What'd you get? Show me this, show me that. So I didn't even know Jeff got those Buck Rogers. I didn't see any of it. But anyways, so I had like a plan in mind. I kind of had some figures that I wanted, like Mask, Centurions. I really wanted some Rambo stuff, but I really didn't find a whole lot. There was a little bit, but not as much as I thought. So I really went in on Joe's. So, because I hadn't picked any up. But first, I did want to get some Sectars. So I did pick up a lot of. Yeah. So I think his name is, I want to say it's ZAK. So maybe it's pronounced Zach.
Yeah, Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he came with, I think it's Bytor.
Yep.
But the cool thing about this was, and I got 4 for a really good deal. The guy kind of bundled 4 of them for me, but this one was really cool because this is the only Sectars I had as a kid. So this is the main one that I really wanted. So,
you got a deal with them, didn't you, Rob? They were all immaculate and they were really good condition. So that was awesome.
The only one that wasn't complete was I think the leader, the bad guy, he's like black and kind of pink, maybe a dark red. But it was a good deal. And then the next thing I got that was on my definite list was Zartan. So he came complete. He's got
his pads. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got his backpack around here somewhere. But with Zartan, I also wanted the Swamp Skier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Does he still change color, Rob?
I haven't tried him yet. I was just telling the boy right before this.
Yeah,
put him in the window, Rob.
Yeah. We'll put him up there.
We looked all over for that Swamp Skier to find a good priced one.
We'll see if he. Yeah, we did, didn't we? Well, he fell, but we'll see if he changes. So it's kind of a toss up between Joe's, what I had first, what I can remember. So it was either Zartan and the Swamp Skier, or it was the Snowcat.
Yeah.
So I got the Snowcat, and he came with Frostbite.
Cool.
Does it have the steering wheel?
Yes. So it came complete. It has the windshield wiper, wiper. The steering wheel on the inside.
The shield's clear too. It's not all cloudy.
And your Frostbite is really white. That was a beautiful find.
I was a little surprised too because I saw because they had them in there and it came with in a bag, and I was like, he's probably not going to be in the best condition, but he's got a little paint rub on his goggles, but other than that, he's a little loose O-ring, but other than that, he's really tight, really nice.
Yeah,
cool. Tight like tiger.
And then the next, obviously, I got a lot more Joes, but the 2 I wanted to show, these are probably the 2 pickup on the list I definitely wanted to get, and I was really kind of try to be picky about them. I did not have these 2 as a kid, so that's why I really wanted to get these 2. It's probably gonna be hard to see with me wearing blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted that Cobra Commander.
You were on a hunt for him.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was.
So he's gonna be. If I had like a regret, what I did on Friday was it would probably have something to do with him, and if we talk about that later, I'll let y'all know. And then the next one I definitely wanted just to knock out of the way because he's really hard to find white. Was
and the logo is in great shape.
Yeah, the logo is really nice.
Very, very nice.
Yeah,
you can tell I'm like a rookie.
Did he have all the accessories?
Yeah, it came with his bow and arrow, unbroken, his nunchuck. So I got all the accessories in here. Both swords, the long one, the short one. But yeah, so that's what I got out just to show off. I also got Duke straight arm Scarlet. This one's kind of eyeing Andy's card for that straight arm Scarlet. But,
straight arm Flash. I was buying some cards.
And you got Doc, right? Didn't you grab Doc?
I got Doc on the last day. I passed on him. Yeah.
That straight arm one. Yeah, that's nice. GForce.
Yeah, I passed on Doc on late Saturday night, and I was like, oh, if he's still there on Sunday, I'm going to pick him up.
That's cool.
It's funny listening to all this G.I. Joe talk as well, because there was one night, there was me, Helen, and GForce up with Scuba. And Scuba put the G.I. Joe cartoon on, right? And me and Ellen GForce had seen it, but me and Ellen are like, this is pretty good. Anyway, I came home and then I thought, you know what? I went to bed early and I thought, I'll watch him. I'm up to episode 16. I can't stop watching. Honestly, I'd have loved it as a kid. I've got no record, but it's nice now, like I said to you, behind the scenes, Scoob's putting like characters to the names now, and watching it. I've just finished the Synthoid one where he changed, and all that. Well, I'm absolutely loving it. But anyway,
this is great.
Overall, what before we finish up, because we're going to finish up, and thank you all for coming in. We've got practically 50 people all the way through on tonight's chat, so I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for coming in. But overall, what's your thoughts about this year's Joefest?
I'll start.
We'll just go around. Rob, we'll start with you. What are you going to say, Rob?
Yeah, so it was my first year. I kind of went in it as a rookie, and there's a couple things I definitely would have done different. I think Friday going in early, me and GForce kind of stayed together, and by the time they were announcing it's closed, oh my goodness, we had maybe went 1/3 of the way. I mean, I wish I would have got a little bit further, because I think I would have found there was one booth at the very end. They had all the pegboards and they were selling, the figure 3 for whatever. But I think I would have got him at a much cheaper deal than I got. I still got a good deal on him, but I think I would have got one there. I wish I just would have spent a little bit quicker moving around on Friday than what we did. I also on Sunday I saw a 4-pack of the Galoob A-Team adventure set.
And it had gone, because I saw that. And that didn't last 2 minutes. So
yeah, and if I would have saw that on Friday, I probably would have just snapped that up for that price.
Yeah. I wish what Andy was saying before. If there's one thing I wish it was that. It was that 18 ran with the 4 figures. I was like, but it was gone. DTM, what about you, buddy?
I enjoyed every bit of it. The meetups that we all did, and the show itself were just outstanding. You could go there with a plan, and then your plan would be shattered because you just
throw it out the door.
Yeah, there were a few times I thought, we should have got that, but then I would have got it home. That were our problem, really, getting it all.
Would you come again, though, DTM? Would you come again?
Yeah. As long as you don't go, yeah.
Awesome. Scuba, Leslie?
Rob, would you drive 13 hours again to hit
13 hours.
Yeah, I would.
Let me see what that is, Leslie. Hold on.
What are you product dropping? What? We're not sponsored.
It's to focus.
Drink of the Joes.
Although, Andy, I did
drink of the people.
Drink of the people. This is the drink of my people, Shabby. We will have it with your bread.
It's my wife's favorite, that Dr. Pepper. She's a big Dr. Pepper fan. Overall, Pete and Leslie, what did you think of this year?
Overall,
the people.
Yeah, it's always and it's like the toys are just bonus icing on the cake. Like, and the toy show.
Well, and this year, I was like, I'm not going in. Not gonna go in. There's no strawberry shortcake. What was it?
And there was.
Made it in for an hour.
And found some
strawberry shortcakes.
You sure did, Pete.
I'm there for the meetups. That's being able to hang out with all you all, and and everybody else that we met, on the sales floor, or swap, or passing in the hallway. That to me is the best part of it, and that's what keeps me coming back.
Yep,
definitely.
Yep. What about you, GForce?
Bob was the best.
Oh, that was.
Who was the best?
Bob.
Bob Breakin.
When he was down at breakfast, I walked around the corner and he goes, "Oh, hi. Where's my friend?"
He's like, "Scuba, you mind if we have breakfast with you guys?" And we're like, "Of course you can join us."
I love it. He wasn't in the what is it as much because I kept missing him downstairs in the vendor to get my things signed, and then I was with Andy upstairs and DTM, and we collared him upstairs in the hallway, right? And I'm running up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not unbothered." He was saying,
well, wasn't
"Anyway, Bob, can you sign this?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll sign it. No problem. Have you got a pen?" Oh, shh! I haven't got a pen, so I had to run to bloody bar, and I said to DTM, "Keep him talking, keep him talking." Oh,
goodness.
You're always carry a Sharpie.
Yeah.
I couldn't find mine when I was gonna have people sign stuff, and it was right where I put it. I just didn't see it. But yeah, the people meetups are always the reason to go to something like this for me. The toys, like everybody has said, is secondary. I really did enjoy the redneckification of Dave and Helen. He's now a proud can koozie owner. He said y'all. So we're doing good there. But yeah, I just think for us, Shabby, it's the perfect toy show to go.
Yeah,
to.
I love it.
A 3-hour drive. I know other people are coming from much further away and stuff, but for us, logistically, it makes the most sense. And I'm happy to go every year.
Well, awesome. Because I'm going to say to Andy Lemire for months, Jeff, what was, I might go, I might not go. I don't know whether I can make it. I'm not bothered and all that. But eventually he went, and he came with some, the lovely Emily, and Tova was awesome. But Andy and Emily, what did you think?
I, like Anna, do not have the collector gene, guys. I'm more of a minimalist. But I left with all the love in my heart for you guys. So it was totally worth it. Oh. I highly recommend going as a partner. We had a great time. It was fun.
Well, I don't know if you could tell, but this whole time, almost an hour and 45 minutes now, Anna, Leslie, and Emily have been texting each other and giggling to themselves. And that never would have happened if it weren't for Joe.
Exactly.
I think I'm probably not the only one that thinks this, but if you can somehow rope in, the other half into this silly thing that we do, collecting toys, then it just makes it so much more fun.
It does. I agree.
And I didn't buy a whole lot, but I sure had a great time, and I'm so happy that Emily had a great time and my daughter had a great time. I was happy to be in the same room for the first time with John and with Rob and with DTM, and other guys, and it was great to be in the same room again with Shabby and Jeff and Pete and Mark, and so it's just going to make doing the next one even easier and probably even better as our web of connectivity gets more intertwined and gets stronger. Awesome. Loved it. Would do it again.
Awesome.
Rob, can you give Gary a ride next year?
Yeah. Why not?
Yep.
As long as he likes Hank Jr., right, Rob? As long as he likes Hank Jr.
Country boy can survive.
Dave, how far is the flight? How many miles or kilometers?
I wouldn't even know where to begin, but it's a good 14 hours flying.
Ooh, okay.
And then across connecting flights.
All right, so you win.
There's no straight through flight to Augusta. You've got to go to Atlanta and get another flight from there to Augusta or a bus or a train. Or...
This is it. We were on 2 days and you're still bloody travelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's done us in though. It's done us in.
I bet it does. John, what about you, buddy?
Well, same. I mean, just getting to meet all you guys in person was the number one thing. It was so nice hanging out with everybody, and like I said, I mean, we had a big surprise during the event because I was in a position where I had enough money to go and to get the hotel and everything, and then Dad rang me up. What was it? Was it Friday morning or something? And he's
Saturday?
just like, I want you to have a good time. And he goes, if you check your account, I paid for your room.
Oh,
so
wow.
then all of a sudden I got all that money freed up so I could buy some of this stuff, you know.
Still couldn't buy pants.
Yeah, but I didn't go buy pants. Exactly. The killer whale was more important than another pair of pants.
I agree.
One of the nicest things Andy did this year, I mean, it was so touching. I loved it. Was that Andy asked us to raise a toast to Mark Tunnel Rat because you were meant to go last year, if you remember, but unfortunately it was a sad event what happened.
And I do have to say, guys, Tunnel Rat, when he was sitting in bed and he was just like, I'm sorry, but I just can't. I don't think I'm going to make it long enough to even get to Joefest. He was gutted. He wanted to meet you guys so much that it really hurt him to come to the realization that he just wasn't going to make it, and that was going to be his last hurrah, really. You know what I mean? He was like, if only I could have hung on a few more weeks, but I just can't. And he goes, I wanted so much to meet those guys before the end, you know, and he wanted to see all you guys in person because you guys in the chats and in live streams when he was able to come on, and when you guys gathered together and raised money for him to help fight cancer and get his medications and things. Yeah. It was more than he ever thought possible. Like nobody stepped up in his life the way you guys stepped up when he needed help, you know? And he was gutted. So that meant a lot, Andy, when you let's pour one out for Tunnel Rat, you know?
That was awesome. That was an awesome thing. It really was, Well,
and and definitely I would go again. I mean, like I said,
we're going again, Jeff. We're going again. We make it out. We're going again. You know.
Yep. So,
oh, brilliant. Jeff and Anna, what do you think before we go?
The people, like everyone. I mean, I give you guys a bad time, you know, just because I don't get it. But from the first year, I didn't anticipate to make the connections that I did. And then this year, you know, spending time with Leslie and meeting Emily and Helen, and it just, it was awesome. And now I can't imagine doing these things without all of them. So definitely.
Yeah.
Is that a plea? Is that a plea?
Yeah.
Please don't make me.
I agree. There was a couple highlights for me. Obviously, getting together with everybody and seeing everybody again and seeing everybody for the first time too. Obviously, amazing. That's why we do it. And the girls clicking so well was a huge thing for me. I thought that was amazing. And then spending time and getting to know Bob, and he's commented to me on Facebook a few times already, and because we talked about his 80th birthday coming up, and it's already happened. And he's like, I'm going to send you photos from it, and he's just amazing. And I don't know, the pickups are great, but I didn't buy as much this year as I did last year. Thank God. But yeah, it just getting to see. I mean, it just reinforces the notion that we can't just do this once a year. We need to do this more.
Yeah. Well, we've got the wagons at the Cape Fear coming up.
Right.
I do the wagons for you, Shabby.
Thank you.
The fall when it's cooler.
Wagon and come along.
Son of a bitch.
But you're all right, though. I mean, it's like meeting people like Bob Breakin and all the other. I remember the guy from the Animal Kingdom came for dinner with us last year, Pete. Do you remember? I can't think of a hobby where it's so small, the divide between the creators and the people that make them. I mean, it's not as if Beckham's coming around my house because I like football. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's a healthy, happy hobby. I love doing it. It's it's something that's important, I think, to all of us, and for us all to get together and share our stories and experiences, and everyone in the chat doing in our community, for us all to stay together this long and having the time of our lives. Couldn't ask for a better hobby, really, could you, to be perfectly honest? You really couldn't. But anyway, we are done. Thank you all so much. I've honestly, I've loved it. What a great 2 hours listening to everybody's story.
Great to get back together.
Awesome. Yeah, I think this is the first time in it that we've all been together. You know, apart from Ellen, bless her. I hope she gets well soon. But
she'll be
first
all
time
right.
we've been together since the past 2 weeks.
I'll force her to watch the replay.
Yeah,
there you go.
we'll add her in somewhere. Definitely. But it's been absolutely
next year we're getting Cy in this, and Dave, and whoever else needs, and Gary. Everybody else needs to come.
Yeah, we've got to get it. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, we're going again. It's obvious.
Well, and even Steve-O, like I was Steve-O from Any World But Ours there. Yep. He was saying that he might want to go, and I was like, yeah, because he's in Tampa, so we could actually meet and take one car up.
Yeah.
Tampa.
Oh, no, John, before we go, sorry, I know everyone wants to go. What story of that guy you were taking home, John?
Yeah. So this guy, Aaron, he had a weird trip, man. He had to go to the North Pole for his job, and then he ended up in Iceland. He went from Iceland to Georgia, met up with a friend, and they ended up going to Joefest together. And then he couldn't get a flight home, so he calls me up Saturday night and says it turns out he goes to the same comic book store that I do. So this guy Aaron calls me up Saturday night and he's like, "Hey, when are you going home? Can I hitch a ride with you?"
Sounds like yes.
So I was like, "Sure," you know. So we got along instantly because we're into the same stuff, and
right.
Yeah, now he's been texting almost daily. We've been talking almost daily. You know, so yeah,
it's a love connection.
Right? Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, and it was good to have him on the ride home because it gives you someone to talk to.
Yep.
And we traded drivers. You know, every couple hours we'd switch drivers. You know, so you could relax and not have to drive the whole way. You know, it was really good.
About 8.5 hours. You said something.
Yeah,
like
because when I left from the house when I went up there, and that was 7 hours 20 minutes. But on the way back, coming all the way back down here, it was a little over 9 hours. So that was a long drive. It would have been long if you had to do it by yourself.
Rob, that's nothing.
Yeah, Rob's like, oh.
Short break for Rob, that isn't it, Rob? Tell you the truth. Brilliant. But anyway, Rob, DTM and Helen, Scuba and Leslie, our GForce, our Andrew and the lovely Emily, super awesome. Honestly, Jeff, Anna, brilliant weekend. Absolutely loved it. And we'll see
Thanks for hosting this, Shabby.
Yeah, I love it. It's nice, isn't it, going through all the stuff? And like I said, whoever's in the chat, honestly, I know it's expensive coming to the States and all, but if you can come, DTM will tell you it's worth it, in it, DTM.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you all soon. Right.
See you soon. Bye. Happy Independence.
You're on mute.